With each passing day, we grow closer and closer to 2023. The 7th year of the Switch, another chance for amazing games and plenty already announced. So today, good morning Mario, good morning Switch fans. I'm bringing you the top 20 most anticipated Nintendo Switch titles of 2023. If you like top 10, you know what they're going to be. You could probably start counting them out on your fingers and you'd figure the list out for the most part. But top 20 allows me to get creative. It allows me to sort of massage some interesting titles in there and hopefully alert you to some releases you weren't even super aware of. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Let me know what your most anticipated Switch games are in the comments down below. And hit that like button if you enjoy the show. Hopefully I can fill your head with something exciting for 2023. Now, all of these games are confirmed for 2023. I'm not throwing any Metroid Prime 4s on the list. We're giving you games that are coming out next year. I'll start off by saying I'm not a huge JRPG guy. That's why number 20 is Octopath Traveler 2, which I think has amazing graphics. The HD 2D looks way better than it did in the original game, and I will say that that was one of those titles that I made a video like, I was wrong about Octopath Traveler, because the game did end up really impressing me, even though I had little interest at its announcement. And I feel like Octopath Traveler 2 will have a similar effect in Q1 of 2023. I'm not committing to finishing the game because that's typically not what I do with JRPGs, but I will try it out, and I do think it looks like they have made some strides to make the gameplay more exciting, and the graphics are just beyond lovely. Now, number 19 is going to be Sea of Stars, another JRPG, this one from the indie scene, and this one incorporating mechanics from Mario and Luigi. And I can't deny the game looks really fun. Despite it being turn-based, they're doing a lot with the visuals and a lot with the variety to keep me engaged. Now, number 18 is Disney's Illusion Island. This is basically Mario Brothers, but with Mickey and Minnie. Now, I don't have huge hopes for this because I assume it's targeting more of a family audience, which isn't inherently bad, but I'm hoping for kind of like a hardcore side-scrolling Mario Bros. Because we haven't had one of those original to Switch, and I do love Disney. So if they're able to just work some magic and make this kind of like a Rayman Legends, Mario Bros, New Super Mario Bros, it could be a surprise of the year. I'm not holding out huge hope, but I'm very excited to try it, and the prospect of interesting 4-player co-op with Disney characters and Disney scenes and a very unique art style for the Big Mickey, I like it. Number 17 is Rift of the Necrodancer, the Punch-Out inspired follow-up to Crypt of the Necrodancer. This one brings in Rhythm, Punch-Out, Rhythm Heaven, Necrodancer. It looks like a nice hybrid of all sorts of fun rhythm-type mini-games integrated together in the world and art style of Necrodancer, which I really like. Obviously, this studio did the one with Zelda, which worked out fantastically, and now they're back with an original sequel, and I gotta check it out. It looks like it could be fun. Probably not like a super long-term experience, but something that definitely will bring some good moments in some short sessions, which those games are always very valuable to have on your system. Number 16 is Endless Dungeon. And to be honest, I don't know a ton about Endless Dungeon. I just know that the reveal trailer really impressed me with awesome visuals, great character design, and it's roguelike gameplay, which I find very fun. I know there's a dime a dozen of those, and there's some really big ones like Hades 2 in development. Fingers crossed we get that fantastic sequel on Switch, but right now, I do think Endless Dungeon has promise, and I'm hopeful that the gameplay can deliver something that has a really fun 30-second loop. Like, give me a great loop, and I will probably enjoy the roguelike. That's why I love stuff like Dead Cells and Enter the Gungeon and Binding of Isaac and even Cult of the Lamb from this year. Give a good loop, have exciting rewards, and make it work. Rogue Legacy 2, another great one. I hope we can add Endless Dungeon to that list. Now, number 15 is Outer Wilds, an old title, but it's our first port of the list that will be coming to Switch. It was supposed to arrive in 2022. It did not. It's a very highly decorated game. People love Outer Wilds, and I haven't really understood why. I started the game on Xbox and didn't get very far, but I think portably I'll be able to push through, and I'm excited to see why this one is so spectacular. It's something about having to do things in an order, and then the galaxy resets, and you have to do it again and figure it out. Kind of feels like an escape room or a puzzle mixed with a video game, mixed with deep narrative. Most importantly though, hope it runs well on Switch. Number 14 will be Minecraft Legends, which I'm pretty geeked for because I feel like Minecraft has done a nice job expanding out. Minecraft Dungeons was a very competent dungeon crawler. It's no Diablo 4, but it was pretty cool. And I think Legends mixes like Pikmin with RTS. The battles look great, the art style is really fun, and it is coming to Switch day and date, which is always a good thing, giving some Microsoft Minecraft love to our Nintendo bread system. I'm ready for this one, and I do hope that it is the best Minecraft game ever. That would be pretty darn awesome. Now, Lucky 13 will need some luck, because Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp has not come out yet. Nintendo has said nothing. Will it ever come out? I assume and imagine this game is going to be dated for 2023, but we'll have to wait and see. I love the Advance Wars franchise back on the GBA. I remember asking my dad to go get the game on release date during a tornado watch. Maybe a little selfish on my part, but I was like 10 years old and I wanted to play Advance Wars, and rightfully so, because it was a fantastic game and delivered one of my favorite tactical titles I ever played. I'd love to see Nintendo experiment again with Advance Wars, and this is its best bet. And unfortunately, it has been completely undercut since its inception. This game is destined to be doomed, and I just say it ain't so. Maybe they can give it away for free to Switch Online subscribers? I don't know. Find a way to make this cool and popular, because the art looks so crispy, the gameplay is very sound, and I'd love to see the franchise continue someday. Number 12 is a flyer, literally and figuratively, because Hogwarts Legacy is coming to Switch. Some Switch in July. We've talked about how that seems to be very odd. February for next gen, April for the consoles before, and then July for Switch Pro. I don't know. Either way, if Hogwarts Legacy is able to port itself over in pretty good shape, this will be a mega title for 2023. The game looks absolutely massive, and while I have some questions and concerns about how the combat plays and feels, it does look like the best darn Harry Potter game of all time. And actually, I kind of like the licensed titles back on the GameCube. So hopefully this one doesn't run like crap. Hopefully it's not a cloud version. Hopefully we have a nice, nifty new Switch to test it out on, and hopefully it feels good for its number 12 ranking. Number 11 is another Crab's treasure. The indie scene really starts to pick up steam as we approach the top half of the list, and this is basically Dark Souls with crabs. The game is being developed by Aggro Crab, who made an interesting roguelite Going Under with very cool visuals, and the idea of a more friendly Dark Souls with under-the-sea creatures, it's just perfect. It's like The Little Mermaid gets violent, and I'm here for it. Number 10 is Fire Emblem Engage. Don't hate! Should be higher, maybe, but I burned out on Three Houses. All right, there's a lot of dialogue there, and I'm kind of personally hoping that the gameplay can wrap me up a bit better this time around. I think the Engage system looks interesting, and I do like the art and look of this game. The character with his split Joy-Con hair, it should be a good time, and luckily, it's out in January. This is the most recent release, or the most soonest release on the list, and hopefully it starts Nintendo Switch's 2023 year off really strong. They've already got a DLC season pass, so there's plenty of content, and I hope that they worked on load times and speed, and that things just feel snappy to enjoy the tactical battles that I have missed and have not really got out of Advance Wars, since who knows when that game is coming. Fire Emblem Engage could easily climb to my top 5 depending on how it plays and how I like it, but right now I'm going to keep it safely at number 10. Number 9 is Pepper Grinder. This basically looks like Drill Dozer gone crazy. A super sick indie title where you got a drill and you're drilling through the sand, but you're also fighting, you're jumping in giant mecha, and it just looks amazing. The art is minimalistic, but so vibrant, and the gameplay looks to be fun. It's a Devolver joint, so you know we on board with that. And if they're able to deliver excellent gameplay, which they usually do, this could be a super gem of Nintendo Switch's calendar year. I think the game just looks very inventive, and there's so many side-scrolling Metroidvania type titles, but this one has a unique gimmick. You got this drill and it allows you to fly through, and if you ever played Drill Dozer, really fun game. If you ever played Ori and the Will of the Wisps, there was like a drill mechanic there that I think is really good. This is also named Pepper Grinder. This is just the perfect title. Number 8 is the highest third-party title on my list, which is the Switch version of Marvel's Midnight Suns. Midnight Suns ended up being one of the best titles of 2022, and if they are somehow able to make the performance sing on Switch, this will be a stellar game to take on the go. It is perfect for portable play with its succinct card-based battles, and I love the way that the heroes feel like heroes. It's not XCOM with percentages and downs. It's like these heroes are super strong, super successful, and you just have to make it work and deal with the waves and waves of enemies and venomized evil creatures, including the Hulk gone mad. It's a really story-heavy game as well, but if you're not super into that side of things, you can kind of push through to the battles, which is more my speed. If they make the port work on Switch or on another Switch, I definitely think this will be a must-play because we already know the game is like 9 out of 10 quality. Now they just have to make it work and play well on Switch. Number 7 is Gunbrella. This is another Devolver joint that looks delicious. You're a dude with a Gunbrella. It's an umbrella that can push back and also fire. It does damage and devastation, and it's also quite classy. The game showed a small trailer, and it didn't really reveal a ton about the game, except that you're like, it's very like mobster, noir, detective-y. It has a good vibe. It very much oozes this charm, and I think the mechanic of an umbrella is going to be great for traversal, for combat, for some like tactical combat puzzle solving. It kind of gives me Katana Zero vibes in that way, although topping that would be insane. I don't expect that. I just expect Gunbrella to be one of the most quotable, memeable, and most fun indies we play on Switch in 2023. Number 6 is gosh darn Hollow Knight Silksong. Oh my goodness, will this game come out? It has to. It has to. Xbox promised it before their next E3 at their summer showcase, and Nintendo has said nothing. But one day this game will come out. And part of me feels like it should be higher because there's so much anticipation. And part of me feels like this is fine because kind of burnt out on waiting. Like, it has been a long time coming. And while I'm sure the game will be incredibly strong and also incredibly successful, it just becomes no fun when every time you're hoping for it and it just doesn't get there. Well, it should get there in 2023, and I'm sure that Hornet's Adventure will be fantastic. I will play it, I will enjoy it, but it does have to kind of cut through a bit of murk in terms of how they have slowly and really reluctantly unveiled this game. Number 5, we've reached nearly podium status, is Cocoon. Now, Cocoon, you may not remember, but Cocoon looks incredible. And Cocoon is made by the lead gameplay designer from Inside and Limbo. We had Somerville that tried to do that sort of thing with some members of those teams, but ultimately it did not reach the status of just absolute critical darling like Inside or Limbo. And it seems like Cocoon could be the one. Now, it looks dramatically different. It has a totally different perspective, but it has some sort of weird world mechanic where you're zooming inside balls. There's these orbs that you go in and go out, and some sort of crazy puzzle solving, along with a fantastically designed world. And Cocoon, you're opening pathways, building bridges, traversing realms. It almost feels like Doctor Strange's Mind, the game. And I hope that it plays as maniacally as it looks. It should be a very interesting, engaging, and exotic experience, and I cannot wait to play it, especially since it's confirmed to be on Switch. Number 4 is the highest indie on the list. There's still another indie. Which could it be? Because we've talked Gunbrella, we've talked Endless Dungeon, we've given props to Pepper Grinder and Another Crab, we've talked the mystical Hollow Knight, but the Plucky Squire takes the highest spot for a small game just with that insane trailer. They did it all. They went 2D, they went 3D, they did Zelda, they did Mario, and it very much reminded me of the side-scrolling stages in Mario Odyssey, where you would kind of suck against a surface and get to play a 2D stage. Well, that's this game, except it goes back and forth and looks to have a ton of quirky, unique gameplay ideas, and if it all comes together, it'll be phenomenal. Now, I will warn you that sometimes jack-of-all-trade games get in trouble trying to do too much. Sometimes with indie games in particular, it's really great to do one thing awesomely rather than do a ton of things pretty good. But we'll see. If they're able to pull it off, Devolver will have like their greatest lineup yet. It seems like 2023 is just full of inventive, imaginative, but gameplay-driven games, and I'm very excited to play all of them. Most of all, the Plucky Squire, which is just a joy. Check that trailer out. Number 3 is Miyamoto finally going back to the garden. He put his toes in the dirt. He said, I'm a Hollywood guy now. I'm a theme park guy now. But sometimes I just like to play with my plants. And boy, do I ever. Pikmin 3, one of the more underrated Nintendo games of all time. Hopefully it got some second life on Nintendo Switch. The multiplayer mode is so much fun. Competitive glory. And now we're getting the 4th Pikmin dedicated to Switch. We've seen nothing of it. Very little, but it should be good. It should include co-op. It should include multiplayer. And hopefully there's some fun twists. Remember, Nintendo Switch takes franchises and blows them up to statuses and levels that we never quite imagined. Scope as well. And I'm curious what they'll do with Pikmin to really take things to the next level. Number 2. Okay, I got a little silly with this one, and I hope that you'll cut me a teensy bit of slack because I know it's happening. The Mario game. Whatever it is. Every darn year has a Mario title, and I'm just putting whatever it is here. It could be Odyssey 2, it could be a brand new 2D title to pair with the movie. I don't know what it will be, but Nintendo will bring a Mario game out in 2023. That is a guarantee. They might end up being Mario Baseball, but heck, I'm even excited for that. Whatever they do with the main man, given his explosion into Hollywood with the theme park and Hollywood with the movie and the Switch. We have not seen a Mario sequel, a true 3D platformer sequel, since Odyssey. Yes, they did Bowser's Fury. Brilliant little side expansion, and it gives me so much hope for what they try to do next. Sonic Frontiers attempted open zone gameplay, but I know that Mario will dominate whatever fancy genre words they throw at him. Whatever ideas they bring forth from Bowser's Fury and then inject with new things will be amazing. And the only thing that could top this Mario game for me is Donkey Kong. But that one, I don't have a guarantee for yet, so I can't put it on the list. Although, if DK gets announced, it quickly shoots up to this spot. For now, though, held by Mario. Whatever they deliver, I'm here for. I think it's time for a new look and new style for the 2D games, or you just take 3D and push it even further. Mario will have his biggest year ever in 2023, and the Switch will absolutely be a part of it. Well, we've made it to number 1, and you know what this game is. It's Kirby's Return to... No, it's Zelda. What else could it be? I mean, it's sort of anticlimactic, but you know Tears of the Kingdom is the biggest thing since sliced bread. It's Breath of the Wild 2. It's back on Switch. It could be housing a new hardware launch, or even if it doesn't, this is just the game. It's the game. What can we say? Link's arm has some issues. I think he ate some spoiled vegetables or something and it got a little infected. Zelda, is she co-op playable? Is there something mystical? We don't know. Link is up in the skies, he's zooming through surfaces, he's rewinding time, and he's hopefully getting all new powers to tackle and take on the baddies that decide to breathe evil into Hyrule once more. Will there be dungeons? I bet there will be. And if there's dungeons and open world and an awesome storyline with emotional finale, this will be the Switch game to beat. Breath of the Wild has been the one. I mean, Mario Kart and Animal Crossing are the sales winners, but Breath of the Wild is the Switch game. Can this take its spot? It'll have to do a lot. I think it needs to be notably better to take the spot because the first time is always the best time. You know how that goes. And this is a sequel, but it could be one that just really ups the ante. If Breath of the Wild was the very first attempt on Switch, and a crossover game at that, what can this one do? With its delays, with its development time, with its TLC, and you know a team that is given whatever resources they need, May will be magical. And I cannot wait to experience it all with you. That's 20 games, my top 20 of 2023. Which one sounds fun to you? Any surprises that you didn't know about, forgot about, or didn't expect? Let me know in the comments down below, everybody. I'm excited for an amazing year in 2023. I think it'll be the Switch's best. There's probably also much more. Metroid could make an appearance. Donkey Kong should show up. We might even get Kid Icarus, or perhaps we could see a new IP. ARMS 2 might make a return, or maybe that strange 1-2 Switch sequel that didn't ever show up. We know Pokemon's gonna have something. Won't be mainline again, but who knows what they'll bring. Could it be Let's Go, a spin-off, Pokken Tournament 2? Either way, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. And until next time, my wonderful people, thanks a lot. SwitchForce, out.